Welcome to yet another episode of the Fantasy Premier League. I have in the studio a brother from another mother, a friend, and a host as well. So,
I'm Allan.
You're Allan, of course. Every day, every time. Yeah, but on this show you have to introduce yourself so that the audience back at home, they know you. So, welcome back, Allan. This is the match day 2 of the Fantasy Premier League, and we're going to be looking at, of course, reviewing the previous match day, seeing how it went, and now also try to probe forward and look at the episode 2 or look at the match day 2 and see what will be happening during the weekend, because we have very good fixtures. So first and foremost, match day 1, we had it happening, and of course we had the best person who played the Fantasy Premier League worldwide had 127 points, and we're going to show it right here because it was amazing to see. He had a number of players that I was just like, how did he know? Because Raya in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Martinez of Manchester United, Dalot, Mo Salah, Diogo Dalot, and Havertz. I mean, what a team.
It's an amazing team, but I can say it's those kind of teams that maybe best suited for one match day.
One match day.
Because from just what you just read, I think he has two defenders from Manchester.
Yes, two defenders from Manchester United.
Which
Diogo Dalot and Martinez.
Ideally, for example, if I'm going with Martinez, it will not be the best option for me.
Yeah.
Looking at his maybe goals contribution. So the only way he gives you points is
when he gets
scores.
a clean sheet.
When he keeps a clean sheet. But for Dalot, then maybe he's a good, because at least he has maybe some attacking contributions to make.
I think goal he had Raya, and I think Raya is a bit more expensive compared to other keepers. But now it meant that in the attack he missed Allan, and he had Isak and Havertz.
Okay, again, that's good, but as I said last time, there are sort of those kind of players that I can call them maybe mainstay in Fantasy Premier League. At least if you look at it from that point. For example, look at Allan. Allan is someone who's supposed to be a mainstay in your team. The first match day, he scored. The second match day, they're going to have an easy fixture at home against Ipswich. So again, for him, for match day 2 and going forward, he'll have to make a lot of changes for him to stand a chance of being at the top again. Yes, but then if your goal is just maybe in your respective league is just to top the weekend, then maybe you can go with such a line. Because I believe he has already made the headlights, because everyone is looking, including the one and only Vincent. Because imagine this, averagely, the whole points for match day 1 is 57. And number 1 had 127, meaning there's a person like Vincent who had like around 10 points to bring average to around 57. Okay.
Anyway, it's good performance from...
out of just curiosity, how many players did Vincent have?
I don't know, maybe like a Chelsea squad.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't look at his squad. You know, you can't look at a squad which you know will not bring value to your side.
I know.
Well, that was it. We had 127 points, the highest match day, and the most selected player was Isak.
Yes.
For some reason, maybe because...
Yeah, so for Isak, it was for the first match day, it was an obvious choice for everyone, given the fact that Newcastle were playing at home against newly promoted Southampton. But then the only, that's the thing with fantasy. So for that particular match, Newcastle happened to get a red card. And I think for about 60 minutes they played with 10 players. So maybe that's why maybe they were a bit of more conservative in attack. So that's why maybe Isak didn't get more contributions.
I think I'm lucky as one of the people who had Isak in the team, and especially luckier because I had him as my captain. So the luckiest part is because he made an assist, regardless of them being 10 men. So he at least saved some points for me, and we're going to be seeing in the next match day who I'll be captaining anyway. At this point, we also had most captained, who was Haaland, and most vice captain still Haaland. So do you think people made the right choice by making him the most captained player for the weekend?
For match day 1, again, it's up to I'll say personal preferences, but then again you have to go by, in fantasy also have to go by, say, reasons, say statistics, and say outcomes. So Haaland and Mo Salah, for example, they'll always be those good candidates for captaincy. So unless maybe they're having very tricky fixtures, maybe they are playing one another, Liverpool is meeting Man City. But then if, for example, how many teams will you say will offer a big challenge to Man City? Say countable number of teams.
Very countable, yeah.
So in more than many cases, Allan and Mo Salah, for example, will always be good, viable captain options.
Yeah. So speaking of which, that match day we had a number of players who had a good performance. Of course, we had Saka from Arsenal. We had Mo Salah as well from Liverpool playing against Ipswich. We had Allan just scored 1 goal. I don't think he had the best performance. Which other player do you think had a good performance aside from those two, Saka and Salah?
We also had from Brentford, I think we had Mbeumo. Because he scored and he assisted. So I think that was also a good performance. Yeah, but then he was not like heavily selected by
many people.
Yeah, by many people. And that's the good thing. Yeah. If you have those what we'll call a differential player.
A differential player.
So you have a player that not a lot of people went for. Because if they score highly, then you end up like having a really good score. Yeah.
All right, that was a good performance. For the defenders, I think it was good to see because most big 4 or big 6 of the Premier League kept clean sheets, including Manchester City. They kept a clean sheet. Manchester United also kept a clean sheet. Liverpool kept a clean sheet. And who else? Arsenal as well kept a clean sheet. So it means if you had any of those defenders, there's a chance that you got more points. So that was good to see for match day 1. And for match day 2, I expect even more firepower because it's going to be fire in there. We have very good fixtures as we look at them. So looking at the fixtures that we have, who are the most likely players that maybe people should be expecting in their teams? Let's say, I'll give an example. Manchester City are playing Ipswich at home.
Yes.
Liverpool are playing Brentford at home, and probably these are the fixtures that look easy on paper. What do you think about these two teams at home compared to maybe Arsenal? Your general overview of match day 2, how it looks with the fixtures?
So in terms of Fantasy Premier League, of course the team plays an important role in the kind of players that we're going to select. But then since a number of, say, people from match day 1, they already have Allan in their team. I don't expect a lot of people to be bringing him in because most of the people already have him. Most of the people already have Mo Salah. So, and maybe just to preempt, I'm seeing this coming match day, I think Allan and Mo Salah will be the most captain players. And most importantly, I think Allan will be the top. Because they have an quote-unquote easy fixture against Etihad.
What do you think of these other fixtures? You're not mentioning Arsenal, and Arsenal is a big guy in the Premier League.
Arsenal are playing Aston Villa. I think they're playing Aston Villa
away from home.
That's a tricky fixture. But then again, remember, for fantasy, it's not just dependent on you playing a tricky fixture. Because from last season, you realized that Mbeumo was a good option selection for fantasy. Yet their team wasn't like the best in terms of performance. So I'll say Arsenal, for me, I have Saka in my team. I'm going to stick with Saka. Again, remember, for fantasy, you're not just thinking about tomorrow. You're also thinking maybe 3-4 match days ahead. So for me, I'm still going to have Saka. If I had Salah, I'll stick with him. If I didn't maybe have him, maybe I'm looking forward to bringing him in the team because next they have Brentford at home. Then they'll have United. But United will be maybe the tricky fixture. But then from there, the next 2 is Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. Those are easy. Not easy. Those are good fixtures for Mo Salah to score.
All right. We've seen how the fixture looks like. So who are the top 3 players that you would look forward to, like, this match day? Who are you looking forward to as a fantasy Premier League expert and player?
So for me, I'll not look at for this match day, but I'll look at it for the maybe
as usual. You always like that.
Yes, because if I make a transfer just basing with one match day in mind, then like it leaves me a bit sitting a bit dangerous for the coming
match day.
So for me, and these are just my picks. For me, I'll see Mazraoui from Manchester because I think Luke Shaw's an injury. So Mazraoui is going to play a number of matches. And looking at Manchester United's next round of fixtures, Brighton, Liverpool is maybe the only tricky one, but then they have Soton, then they have Crystal Palace. So for me, those are good fixtures for Manchester to keep a clean sheet. And Mazrui is a good defender, and I think he was man of the match.
Yeah, he played very well in the.
He got even the full bonus 3 points from fantasy.
He played a very good game.
So I think these are good opportunity for Manchester to keep a clean sheet and for Mazrui to earn a number of points. And remember, he's also a good defender at a very good price. Then the second player will be, of course, the usual culprits, Mo Salah. They have Brentford, then United, then, as I said, Nottingham, then Bournemouth. Those are good fixtures for Mo Salah to get on the score sheet.
Yep.
The last one, the more than usual suspect, Allan. He has the next fixture, Ipswich at home, then West Ham, then Brentford, then Arsenal. Remember, Allan is Allan.
Allan is Allan. He's scoring even without playing well.
Yes.
So, okay, those are the three players I think we should be looking forward to. I particularly think, I don't know how Saka's fixture, you mentioned Saka?
No.
Why not?
For me, you know, again, the thing is for me, the top players, I was looking at the top.
The top players.
So if maybe I'm looking at 5 players, but for Arsenal, if there's any player, then I'm looking to get in my team. If I don't have any Arsenal player, then it would be either Saka, number 1, or it would be, say, Gabriel in defense. But then for Saka, he's already in my team. So I was just maybe picking the top 3 players.
The top 3 players.
Yes.
All right. So we mentioned something about captains.
Yes.
You said there's a chance that maybe Haaland and Salah will be the most captained players for the upcoming match day.
Yes.
Do we have any other probable captains for this coming match day?
That would be hard to sell. But for me, I'll stick with the usual suspects. Haaland, he has a pretty good fixture in terms of playing Ipswich at home. If Man City are firing on all cylinders, then I expect maybe Haaland to score at least 3. Just saying maybe. Also, Salah against Brentford. Anfield is a tough place to play. And I think Mo Salah will. This season, I think Mo Salah will be on a good run.
All right.
Yeah.
So before we wind up, I have a few things that I observed also during the previous match day that I would want us to also to address.
Yes.
What is your opinion on Cole Palmer so far? Maybe after match day 1.
First of all, from Chelsea's point, I think sometimes most fantasy players had Nkunku in their squad. I think it was one of those things where you go with can I call it peer pressure? And it didn't.
You call it peer pressure now.
It didn't like pan out well for those who selected him, including me.
Including you.
For Cole Palmer, I will say it will be highly dependent on how well Chelsea play. So maybe let's give it 2-3 more matches, see how Chelsea is playing. Maybe is he still on penalties? Then we can choose if he's a Chelsea player we want in our squad, or maybe we can look at other available options. Yeah,
of course I mentioned him because last season he was number 2 in terms of performances for the Fantasy Premier League, right?
Yes.
So he's a player many people are looking forward to seeing how he performs and things like that. Another player who has maybe last season didn't perform well, but this season we're looking forward to is Bruno Fernandes. He's been played off position, of course, false 9. He missed a couple of chances, but I saw his tweet, or was it his post, and he said, fantasy players, don't worry, I got you. I will bring you assists and goals. Do you have a view of him? Is he a player people could think about maybe in the coming matches?
Okay, again, the other thing is when you're making decisions in fantasy, it's not just about you know Haaland will score or Saka scores or he assists. It's also a matter of you just also being a fan of football, the English Premier League, and looking at how maybe teams are lining up and which player is playing in which position. For example, for the Manchester match, Haaland was playing in a false 9 position. But we remember when they did the substitution and then he went back to his I think attacking midfielder position, he was like now creating chances and whatnot. So I expect if he's playing in that position, the number 10 position, I expect goals, I expect assists, I expect chances created. And remember also the number of chances created contribute to whether a player will earn bonus points. Yes. So going forward, if he's now playing in his natural position, he will be a good fantasy Premier League selection.
One last thing, still with the observations.
Yes.
Calafiori came in and replaced Zinchenko at some point in game.
Yes.
Do you think it will be like he will be starting more matches? Especially now, you know, we're talking about fantasy. Many managers are looking forward to bringing in Arsenal, maybe defense and things like that. Yeah. And you know, the good thing with Calafiori, I think he offers probably more if he's playing, because at Bologna he had good statistics going forward, maybe more assists and things like that. Yeah. So should we be aware of this guy, because he could be a dark horse, especially with Saliba and Gabriel maybe being more expensive than him?
I will say at this point, I'll not be looking to bring him in the team for one reason. Remember when, was it the other season when Cristiano came back to the Premier League?
Yeah.
Everyone
had Cristiano.
Everyone rushed to bring him into their teams. Yeah. But then, as results showed, it wasn't the best selection or decision, and he was an expensive premium player. Yeah. So for me, I'll say, give him time. There's definitely a lot of competition on the left side of Arsenal. Yeah. So you want someone that is consistent. For Arsenal, that's why I'll say I'll stick with either Gabriel or Saliba. But the reason why most people prefer Gabriel is also he has that potential attacking threat. Yeah.
So what you will do after all that is take us through your team, mention your important players, possible changes before the weekend.
So for me, I'll not go through the entire team. For me, I'm not going to, for this particular weekend, I'm not going to make any transfers, fortunately. But for me, still the players that I'll be looking at. So this time, I captain Isak, but this time I'm going with Allan.
Okay.
We have a tough. Okay, I'm an Arsenal fan. We have a tough fixture. You
had to say that. You had to tell them. You had to
yes, yes,
with information.
We have a tough fixture at Villa Park, but then I expect the Starboy to come through. So that is another player that I'm looking at. Nkunku. I expect him to redeem himself against Wolves.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my I'll not say key, but the players that I'll be looking at most.
Right. I'll need a bit of expertise on your side on my team. I still have the same team, but I'm still thinking of what to do, especially because I am not an Arsenal fan, of course, and I feel the Starboy might not do something. Okay, why am I even calling him the Starboy? Bukayo Fikamoyori Saka. I don't know. Ademayolola. I don't think he will have a good performance at Villa Park. And I'm thinking maybe I should trade him for someone else, maybe someone from Liverpool, because I feel like somebody like Diaz could have a good game. I haven't made a decision yet. It's just something that I'm saying. But I have Saka in the team, and I feel like I should make a change. Although this will be for short term, because there's the long-term part of it, right? Because if you look at Arsenal fixtures, especially after Aston Villa, it looks easier. But I still have that dilemma. And then, of course, I'll also captain Haaland, and I still have Isak in my team, and I have Diogo Jota, who I think will make a difference. So I'll also show my team here. So watching from home, you can also let us know your opinions, let us know your teams. And remember, we also have an official Liquid Sports Show group or league. Yeah, it's called Liquid Sports Show League. You can join it. The link will be in the description section and also in the comment section. So remember to have your views. Let us know who you're going to be captaining for this new match day. Is it Salah or Haaland? Because I believe these two are the ones that will be most captained according to our expert Allan. So that will be the end. We will meet again in the match day 3. My name is Brian.
And I'm Allan.
And this is the Liquid Sports Show.